Mic check, 1 2 1 2. That was just the weirdest thing. I don't know what's going on with my computer and everything. What's the deal, people? You know what it is, Don 20 Teflon. I'm back at you with another one. And this one is from season 3. From season 3. Predictions. We're going to talk about questions that need to be answered this upcoming season. And I don't know what's going on. Like this computer that I'm using, what I normally use, why I'm so late, and I apologize, is that it won't let me like click on stuff. Like every time I try to click on like present, before I could click on it, it disappears. Like I can't even click on start stream. I couldn't even do it. Like I had to use another computer to start the stream, and then I had to come on this computer to actually do the stream. So I don't know what's going on there and why it's so messed up. Hopefully it works itself out and I can figure this thing out. But doesn't seem to be nice. Like every time I click on present and like disappears before it allows me to hit the screen share. I have no idea why that is. That is crazy. All right. Anyway, so I probably won't be able to take any calls unless Phil comes in here or anything like that, or present anything on screen, because basically it's going to be you and me. I can still highlight comments and stuff. So let's do that while we say what up to the people in the building that's rocking with us right now. We got Carrie is up in the building rocking with us. TNX is in the building rocking with us. Vanessa Wicked is in the building with us. Miss Duncan the Tall is up in here rocking with us. Sonic, your boy, is in here. Julia B. Deep Dives is in here rocking with us right now. Shorty Poo 80 is in the building. Matthew Spruce is in here. Stephanie Snow, Dwayne S. May Kent, she does the most. The B Walker 108 is in there, not to be confused with 101 is up in this piece, and Michelle is up in here rocking with us right now. We have a bunch of people. More than that, I'll shout out more as we go on and stuff and everything else. So hope everybody had a great day today. And you know, we are a few days away, literally a few days away from this season actually beginning. Now, someone did contact me and send me an email asking me where they can get my merch and get these shirts that I got right here. I will have that before the final stream, before the first stream on Sunday. I will have all that squared away. I will have that all squared away so you can definitely know exactly where to go to buy these and everything else. So have that done. All right, it's just things are frustrating right now in life and all that. So again, because I have a book, I'm trying to drop it this Sunday. I'm going over the finishing touches to make sure it's perfect, so it's exactly the way I want it when it gets put out. So I'm just got to read through the whole book and do a couple little minor adjustments here and there. I'm going through that. I don't understand what's going on with this goddamn computer. Now it won't let me click on stuff. It's just nuts. And all my background and everything else is all in this computer. So I have to switch it over to another computer and do all that stuff. I don't have time to do all that stuff and everything else. You know what I mean? I do not have that at all. So I have to, I gotta figure all that good stuff. But yeah, I will let you know. But that being said, since we don't have a lot of people in here, so we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it quick today. Look at somebody here. All right, we're gonna go with Kimberly. Kimberly is the target right now. Kimberly is the one who is not a member. So, if anybody gifts Kimberly a membership, then I will send you a free shirt. How about that? There it is. So, if a membership is gifted and it lands on Kimberly, then you will receive a free shirt. How about that? That's what we'll run tonight and everything else. So it's going to be there you go. That was a good that right there. I won't say who it was, but that right there was from another actor from saying that they're coming on the show. Just right there. That call I just got right there was a text saying they're coming on the show. So we got another somebody else jumping on there and everything else. It wasn't Kimberly. Was it Kimberly last time? The target? Wasn't all right. It was Kimberly last time. We're not gonna do Kimberly this time. All right, we're gonna do She Does the Most. She Does the Most. if someone gifts and it lands on she does the most, and it lands on her, then we will make her. But Jason H, if you well, since you just did it right now, if it lands on either one of those, we'll send you a shirt. All right. So if we're gonna do she does the most after Jason H, he can hit them either one because I sent them both. But if anyone hits she does the most from now right on, and she becomes a member, I will send you a shirt. Anyone you want. I have like 5 different kinds. I'll send you anyone you want. All right. Now here we go. That's it. So let me thank the people who have given out super chat so far, and that is Vanessa Wicked has just gifted 5 super chat memberships. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. And Jason H just gifted 5 super channel members. So if you are, just get one, please. Let's let them know that you said hi to them. We also have another one from Rose Jones, just gifted 10 memberships. All right, thank you so much for that and everything else. Let's hit she does the most. It can happen. It's not possible. It can happen. It just goes to random people. You hit her and everything else, and then we will get that. All right. It's going to be very let's talk about some things in here that happen. I don't want to be up in here by myself tonight. I don't see Phil. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to invite let's see who we have. We have Julie B Deep Dives in here. She's a content creator. We'll invite Judy B to come up here, so I don't have to be by myself tonight. All right. Let's copy that real quick. I'll put that in the chat right now if she wants to come on here and join me. She can. If there was another content creator, you could right now. Let's take this super chat real quick. Who's in my room? Do you like the album Teflon Don by Rick Ross? I'm not a huge Rick Ross fan, never been. I'm a New York City guy, so I'm more of a New York City rapping type cat. You know what I'm saying? So, and I like a couple of songs from Rick Ross, but I cannot say that I like the whole album. I probably never even heard this whole album. I'm just not, I'm two different. I don't want to say eras or anything, but it's 2 different places in life than the Florida rap scene and the New York rap scene, you know what I mean, and everything else. So I like a couple of the songs, but I can't say I like the whole album and stuff like that. So who just got gifted these? We have them 5. Our girl, I'm about to say Fatima has gifted 5 memberships. We're gonna get them. It's gonna hit. It's gonna hit. It's gonna hit. I promise you that. It's gonna hit. She does the most, and she deserves it because she does do the most. She's up here all the time repping for us and everything else. Again, I'll send you a t-shirt. If you hit it, you get a t-shirt. I promise. I'll send it right out to you. All you gotta do is let her know. There she is. Her hand is up. She does the most. You are up there. She does not hit. You can accept memberships, I do believe, right, and everything else, right? Make sure that you can accept memberships. I'm sure your settings should be there for gifting. I assume everyone does do that, but let's make sure she does the most. That you are. Yes, she says yes. She's good for gifting and everything. I've seen Julie B stop in real quick, then she dropped back off, but hopefully she comes right back on. And everything else. So she's open for gifting and everything else. So we have a bunch of new members I can see over here and everything. I'm just Jason Ace. I've been waiting for these shirts for months. I will have them this week. All right. I just gotta talk to my man P Easy. And once I get on there with P Easy and everything else, then it'll all be straightened out. I'm just waiting to talk to that brother this week. And I'll probably talk to him tomorrow, the day after. Everything else will be good and everything else. Again, we're talking. Oh, what happened here? I'm sorry. I got fired from my job today. I was a janitor at one of Diddy's mansions. Well, listen. It's a slippery, slidey world in there. His mansion should be called the Slip and Slide. God damn. How do you have 1,000 bottles of lube? I don't understand that. I don't want to talk about Diddy. I want to talk about Firm. That's what you hear from. But God damn it, 1,000 bottles of lube, bro. Like yes, my book is complete. I'll answer that question. Is your book complete? Make sense. My book is complete. I just going through it to make sure it's perfect, but it's done. I'm just going right through it just to make sure it's perfect, and it will be out Sunday. All right, I'll have that out Sunday. I'm just going through it, and everything else. Yeah, but 1,000 bottles. If you said 50 bottles, 100 bottles, that's good. 1,000 bottles of lube, bro. Like, there ain't that much lube. What are you doing? What are you doing? Jesus Christ, 1,000? That's just crazy. Like, that is just crazy and everything else. That is crazy. All right. Please don't stop gifting those memberships. We got to hit She Does the Most. I want to send you out one of these shirts. I really do. The merch link will be by my next stream. I just got to talk to Pete Easy to make sure everything is perfect. And then I will send you out, and you'll have all the shirts, and you have access to get all these shirts and everything before the season. You'll be able to order it, and you should get it probably the week of, and everything else. And that's all. You know what I mean, and everything. All right, let's make it so that it's not just one person. Let's do, because we got more people in here. Let's do She Does the Most and Jay Sleek. How about that? Jay Sleek, are you open to accept memberships? Make sure you are open to accept memberships. So if it lands on She Does the Most or Jay Sleek, to make it more than just one person, I will give you a shirt. All right, we'll do that. That's the way. You get a shirt. Any one of them, get the membership. We'll give you a shirt. All right, Phil is here too, so we're gonna have at least 2 more people here rocking with us, which is very good for me. I really appreciate it and everything else. But again, I'm just trying to stall because I don't want to start talking about these topics and these people come on and then we got to talk about the same topics and everything else again. So make sure you can accept memberships. Jay Sleek, She Does the Most, is already open to accept memberships. Phil is in the back.
Yeah, Tony, I didn't want to miss the discussion about the lube.
Let me just start going into some of these topics already. So I think the number one thing and one of the number one things we need to figure out is the bracelet, right? I think you can't just bring on the bracelet. Julie B is here. Let's bring her on while Phil waits to get on.
Hi, am I on? Can you hear me?
Are you? Oh yeah, I think I have to do this. There you go. What's going on, Julie?
Oh, not much. Thanks for inviting me.
I can't hear you. Can the people hear you? It might just be my settings. 1 second. I've been on this computer, man. I do not know what's going on with this computer. 1 second, Julie. Yeah, it's me. All right, there we go. So talk to me, girl.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. It's me. It was me. All right.
Technology hates you today, like it hates me.
I don't understand. It's never happened before, and this is not the time for it to start shitting the bed on me. We got Rose Jones just gifted 10 memberships. Let's see if we can hit Jay Sleek or She Does the Most. If one of them become a member, Rose Jones, you have won yourself a T-shirt. Hopefully, one of you hit one of them. I would like for you to hit one of them. I'm just looking in the chat and seeing if they comment, and it's got that thing next to the name. And our boy Phil Issues.
I was in a second ago because I just said I heard you. I didn't want to miss the point in the conversation where we talked about the 1,000 bottles of lube. No. That's exactly why I signed on. I mean, this is a Diddy conversation, but but yeah, isn't he using it? Like, is he constantly replacing that, keeping it always at 1,000?
Listen, I will say this:
does he have a vending machine where he distributes them? Or?
Like baby oil is not the greatest thing. Lube,
no,
it's not the best. So if they're talking baby oil or they talking KY gel, that's 2 different things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or Astroglide or some shit like that.
Yeah, you need something better than baby oil. Baby oil is not that good at all.
No.
And everything.
Neither is Vaseline. You need like real lube.
Yeah, something going on there like that. All right. We'll talk more about that later. I don't think we have hit one of our people yet. Good tries, everybody. You're doing great. Let's just keep it going. We'll hit one of them eventually. We only have 120 people here at the moment. So the more people file in, the harder it'll be. But if the number goes up, we'll keep adding people to the list too to make it easier. All right. Number one. All right, we're going over Phil. Let's go. Let's start with you, right?
Sorry, I have a bad mind. The more people we get in, the harder it's gonna go. We're not talking about Diddy anymore, Tony.
Pause.
No more discussions about Diddy.
Pause. No. All right, Phil. What's number one question they need to answer for you this season?
how we're gonna get to the bell at the beginning of the season. Like what is gonna happen for that? No, I mean I think it's the sorry. Well, but I can't turn it off. My computer's fucking up too, Tony. I don't know if it's an update or something. Because like every time I try to click on a window, it's expanding instead of allowing me to move it for whatever reason.
That's what's happening to me.
Yeah, same thing is happening to me on my screen. Like I can't, like I have to like work to drag it or something.
Yes.
I don't know if it's a weird update or some shit like that, but if that makes sense to you, like it has to like I have to work to drag that shit.
All right, that's what's happening to me. Like every time I put it there, it disappears.
Yeah, it disappears, and like then then it will blow up the screen. It will like expand instead of pause. Yeah, whatever. But anyway,
God.
My biggest question.
I'm using StreamYard now. I guess I have a lot of fun to look forward to dealing with.
You're lucky. I think it's a Windows operating system issue.
Okay.
But anyways, I think my biggest question going into this season, or the biggest thing that needs to be answered, just from a simple things that have been set up going in. I mean, there's everything, the overall picture, but I think leaning into this season, the Fatima pregnancy and everything to do with that is probably my biggest interest to see how that figures itself out by the end of the season, in the stuff that's set up. I'm more invested in that than I am to Tabitha getting back to town for whatever reason, just because I feel like that's going to have more outcome on the long-term things of everything going on. But I would say those are the two that I'm most, everything to do with Tabitha and everything to do with the baby.
So we said one, you put two out there.
Yeah, I did.
You know.
I'm a rule breaker, Tony.
You are. You're a habitual line stepper.
I am. You sound like my vice principal now from middle school. Yep, it is. It's true. That's exactly what I am, Tony.
All right, Julie B. What question do they need to answer for you?
That's a tough one. I would say I want to know. Let me think. Like I want to know more about like how the hell Victor got to town. Like why won't he talk about it? Like anytime anyone ever asks him, like, how did you get here? He just shuts down. Like I want to know more of his backstory. That's what I want to know most of all.
So we're saying Victor's backstory. They need to. I'm saying this season, what they need to solve, what they need to answer, the question they need to answer. And to you, it's Victor's full backstory.
Not the full thing, but like
just specifically how he got to town.
How he got to town, yeah, because I think it would shed some light on some things. I think that his mother probably like, I'm just guessing, but just based on his trauma and the fact that he's never mentioned his father, I think that he probably like his mother probably took him and his sister and just took off from his dad. But it'd be nice to get confirmation of what the hell happened, how they got there.
All right. We definitely delve in those two things. All right, so let's talk about one at a time. I like people talking about Victor's backstory and everything else. All right, so Phil, Victor's backstory. Do you think we get the answers we're seeking this, or you think it's going to be more left in the dark?
I do think we're going to get more of Victor. It seems like as the story goes on, because they've developed more of his character, that's something that's sort of more alive in the writer's room, in the sense of having him not necessarily be so much of a focus at the beginning of the series, and it just seems like his character's building up steam and getting more lore wrapped around him as it goes. So I definitely agree with Julie that I hope to get more answers about just not even just how he got there, but just Victor's whole essence. Everything to do with Victor, I want more of. And I don't know how to verbalize that correctly, but I just want more of that, Tony. I want more deep dive into who he is, his establishment, his parentage, and that stuff, as with Eloise or whatever, associating that kind of stuff, or whatever people think is maybe not exactly the specific way he got there, but everything to do with him. So I am 100% with Julie. Like, I would love to get more Victor answers this season, if that's a best way of saying that. Give me more Victor, Tony.
That's exactly how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. I had trouble articulating it too, for the same reason as you, Phil, but that's exactly how I feel.
But we see a couple of interesting shots of Victor. Let's go into the Tony Teflon the Don theory about Victor this season that I came up with, and we'll toss that around. So I believe that, I don't know if it's going to happen this season. I can't say this season, but I believe that Victor was going to have to dig his mother's body up. I think that there's something on her person that may help shed light to what's going on in this place. I think that when she was trying to escape, you gotta look at the time she was trying to escape. She said she needed to go to the lighthouse to save the children. Did she have something on her at that particular time that would help her save the children? And she finds something there, whether it's an item or something that would help her, or did she just gonna go in there like Wonder Woman with her hands and just beat everybody out and pull them up? So I don't know if that's the case. So I do believe that she may have had something on a person that made her feel that she could save these children. I do believe that she got caught by Christopher. She gets killed outside the tree. I think Victor sees the body. I think he gets a little bit older. He's not going to leave his mother out there. We've always seen from the first time we see Victor, he's digging these graves. We constantly see him digging graves for people. So we know he's the grave digger, except for Father Kotri when they die over there. He's the one who digs the graves. At that time, supposedly Victor was there by himself, so it would be him to dig those graves. So I do believe that there's something on that woman's person that he's going to have to get and dig up the grave for her and everything else. And that's what I think. What do you think about that? And you don't have to agree with me. You're not like you do all the time anyway. What do you think about that to anybody?
No, I definitely like that. I'm not sure if I could see something like that absolutely happening in a way of expanding Victor's essence, just again to use my word. And I know the essence makes it sound dirty. I guess dirtiness is just on my mind. Victor's essence is going to spray all over this season. But no pause. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's possible. I mean, he did something with everybody's bodies. I mean, I don't know how he got rid of all those bodies, to be honest. What did he do with all those bodies as a 10-year-old kid? But I mean, yeah, I always keep an open mind to everything. To be honest, I don't know what the hell he's going to dig up. I'll just be perfectly honest. I mean, I think the most likely thing is more stupid drawings, and I really hope it's something more creative, like what you think, Tony. Because enough drawings, we have enough drawings.
I just can't see it being, the drawings thing has worn its course for me. Yes. I can't see that he's got more drawings tucked away somewhere else that's gonna do it. It has to be something bigger than that, I believe. And I hope so. I do believe that most likely is. I think the fact that they show him constantly digging graves for people makes me believe that he's going to have to dig up a grave. And the only one that makes sense to me would be his mother. Shorty Pooh, thank you for the super chat. She wants to know, where did the boy in white come from? That's a question that she wants
to connect that into Tony, I believes it's Victor. But in this sense, to go around that question of you, Tony, with the digging up the grave, do you think Victor digs it up of his own recourse, or someone makes him dig it up to try to find more information?
All right. So I've heard I don't know who said this. Who said that? So so my theory is that Tabitha is going to arrive in the town, but via the ambulance. That's when she comes back. All right. Now, who was it? Was it you, Julie B, on your stream? Did I hear it there, or was Real Theories in Enigma who's in the chat right now? One of y'all streams.
That was me. You were on Real Stream with me, and I was saying I thought like the ambulance was going to be coming from Camden, and Acosta, the cop, would have met Tabitha, questioned her, and then she could tell everybody in town that Tabitha got out. And then you came up with your theory that Tabitha herself will be in the ambulance, and Acosta won't even need to tell everybody.
Yeah, but someone said that Victor's, the guy we believe is Victor's father, is a main character.
Oh, I actually think it's possible that he's coming back on the ambulance with Tabitha or something, because I think he was announced as being added to the cast along with Acosta, and that tells me that he might show up in Fromville too.
Yeah, so if he is a main character, and he has and we see that there's the accident from that last trailer. And they're both in the ambulance together. It could be a situation that if he does arrive himself in Fromville, that he asks Victor, "Was my wife? Where's your mother buried?" And he takes him out there. You know what I mean? To the grave and says, "This is where'd you bury my mom at?" And then he goes over here and takes her out there, and then maybe it's the dad who then says, I think we need to dig her up. There could be something on her.
That could be. I see when I messaged you and I said, I think I agree even more now than I did before that Tabitha's coming back in the ambulance. And it's because of that car accident that we saw in that second trailer. I mean, there you go. Like, that's a perfect way to get her in the ambulance and get her back there. So I'm completely on board with it now. So I think Tabitha and probably Henry are going to end up there. And yeah.
Debbie Bebby or Bebby is in the building. Glue Guns and Roses is in the building. She says Victor didn't want to open a car trunk. He doesn't even care about leaving Frontville because it's all he knows.
Yeah, he's instant. He's hooks. Brooks.
Yeah, I could see him being forced to dig up the grave. Yeah, I would think it would be the dad, something with the dad or something like that would say something. If he's a main character, we've seen the car accident. He gets in the car accident. They both get in the ambulance. That means they're both coming back. It doesn't make any other sense. And if that's the case, that's what has to happen. There's no other way around that. We got a super chat from Vanessa Wicked says, "How do aliens fit in with the grave digging?" Aliens, they don't have to fit in everything.
Aliens can fit in everything.
Vanessa, they don't have to fit in with everything. Vanessa, all right. They don't have to, but maybe maybe she's got proof of the aliens on her body. Maybe there's something on her that points to the aliens in there. Vanessa. Wayne Fishing says Henry is Victor's brother. I don't think so. Again, I've lived a long time on this planet, and I have never seen anyone post children photos up there about anyone in a group like that unless it's their children. I've never seen that. You know, those look like family pictures,
or a nephew, or some like familiar,
not baby photos like that on the wall.
It's true. Yeah, I guess
on the frame on a coffee table, but on a wall when it's just that. If it was a whole bunch of family members, I could see it. But when it was just that, the focus on that seems to be that little family.
Tony.
So I see it. I would think it would have to be Victor's father.
Now, to kind of ask you this question, I mentioned it earlier. How soon do you think, as a question to answer for Julie and Tony, how soon do you think Tabitha gets back to town?
What episode is that? I think episode 3.
Episode 4.
Yeah, episode 4.
So that's when the new arrival comes to town in the synopsis.
She's back in episode 4.
Okay, so they're not going to stretch that a long time in the season.
No, because I think if you look at it, the way the episodes are released there, we hear something about Tabitha by herself every episode up until episode 5, and then you don't hear anything more about Tabitha. So I think her POV ends because she's back in town.
Right. Totally. Do you think we get a time jump at some point?
A time jump itself?
Where we stretch over a long period of time in a short stretch, like an episode where we skip, or does winter come more gradually through the season?
I think it's going to be just like the storm. The
storm just rolls in one day.
Yeah, just rolls in, and it's
the reason why I'm asking about the time jump is more about Jade. Is more about Jade and the beard.
Yes.
And all of that stuff, like with Jade with the fucking pictures. Jade and his crazy beard seems like a long period of time has passed at some point in time in the season. So I don't know if we're going to get, or if that's just Jade looking disheveled, or if his beard grows really fast in one day, like that episode of Cheers, if people have watched it, when Cliff's beard grows all at once, like one day or something. But I'm just wondering, Julie, if there is some sort of, I don't think so, but maybe it's just Jade gets crazier and doesn't clean himself and it just looks crazier or something, but it definitely looks like his beard grew a little bit. I don't know about you, what you think.
No, you make a great point, Phil. I've been saying this to anyone who listen. Why is Jade the only one who has this insanely fast hair growth? Nobody else does, and we know that hardly any time has passed for these people. Somebody in a Discord that I'm in counted how many days they went through the entire first 2 seasons and figured out how many days have passed, and it's around 14 days for these people. Now tell me how Jade's hair has grown that much from episode 1, season 1 to now. It makes 0 sense.
I don't know how old Jade is. You know, I'm getting older, my hair's thinning, but you know, like mine grows pretty fast, and it will take me like, you know, this is about, you know, a couple weeks of a beard. It's not gonna, you know, go bushy crazy. I'm gonna try. I'm not gonna shave for the whole season. Let's see how bushy it gets. Let's see how Jade might be.
I actually got me and Real. I was talking to Real, and I was trying to tell him, like, man, Jade's beard is growing a bunch from season 1 and on. He was telling me, no, it didn't. No, it didn't. I'm like, it did, bro.
Oh, it did.
It did. Now
and his hair too. It's crazy. And I think they're doing it, you know, I think they're doing it to show how he's kind of descending into madness, and it's a reflection of that, but it's too much. It's just it's like we can't suspend our disbelief that much.
Maybe he put some Rogaine in the beard, or maybe just because like Fatima's incubation periods enhanced, somehow Jade's beard growing is enhanced. I don't know. Maybe just the life on his face is growing, something. But it's true. It does look bigger. Pause.
Paul on that. OW, thank you for the super chat. Does the Lighthouse create Fromville? Anybody?
Considering where that Tabitha got pushed out of there, and that was what theoretically was the exit, maybe it could be the central point. I tend to go more kind of what you were saying, Julie. I'm in anything's possible kind of situation. That is something that it could be the center point. It could be the point of power, so to speak, that a lot of this comes from, where the projections come from, where not even projections, where just, you know, the foundation of
I'll be right back, Phil.
Of everything. So I think that's possible. I think the Lighthouse obviously has some really big significance because it keeps coming back in some ways. But I don't know. What do you think, Julie? Do you think what kind of significance, or to answer the person's question, I'm reframing their question instead of just letting you answer.
I think that I've heard the theory from people that some people believe the lighthouse, the flame at the top of the lighthouse, is somehow powering this whole place. And it's a lot like the torch that Boyd has that allowed him to go back into that dungeon area. And if somebody put that flame out in the lighthouse, that maybe they could get out somehow. Like
you know what else that sounds a lot like? The Eye of Sauron.
Yeah, oh, really?
From Lord of the Rings. You put that light out at the top. But anyway, sorry to interrupt you. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Now that's personally not what I think, but I think it's a really interesting theory. I don't know. I think it's a pocket dimension, not to be too much like Dale, because I mean, I don't want to sound like Dale, but like you're
significantly cooler than Dale.
Thank you.
And that's not a compliment. Actually, that's not a flex. That's like a really backhanded compliment. Like, oh, you're better than Dale. You know, like, I don't know if that's a good thing. We got a couple super chats. Let's see what we got. This one right here from Shorty Poo. Do y'all think that we have an episode that shows Donna, Sarah, Kenny, Fatima, how they all got into town? Or myself being sort of like a Lost fan through it all, even through the tough times. One thing that this show doesn't do that Lost obviously did was give us backgrounds of characters that are there. Do you think we'll ever get any background stuff? I don't particularly think we will, but do you think we'll get backstory on any of these characters?
I wish. I mean, I'm really hoping at least we get something more on Sarah, because people have been theorizing for a long time that she killed her ex. Maybe he was abusive.
Yep.
I want more answers on her backstory. We're never going to have flashbacks. Like the showrunners said, they flat out said that we are never getting flashbacks for people before their arrival. We could get a flashback to somebody else's, you know, pulling into town like we got with Boyd, but we're never going to see the real world flashbacks. I just want more information on Sarah. I really do, because she's one of the most mysterious characters.
I wouldn't even mind like if we explored some of that stuff in other kinds of media, whether it be like a graphic novel kind of thing, or I don't know. There's other ways of expanding universes besides the main show. And if this show continues to be successful and grow in popularity, maybe we might see that. Maybe we might see a From video game that explores Sarah's background. I don't know. I know I'm getting ahead of myself with the success of the show, but that would be fun.
Let's keep it going. We got more. We got 180 people in here live right now. Let's expand. Let's expand the list right now. We're gonna add Glue, Guns, and Roses to the list, Glue, Guns, and Roses. Are you able to accept memberships? Hopefully you are. So now we have 3 people. If it hits one of those 3 people, we will send you a shirt. All right. We know the people is She Does the Most. Who's
well, it was John Doe, not John Doe, J.
Miami. I forget his name now. That's great. It is She Does the Most, Glue, Guns, and Roses, Jay Sleek, and Debbie O'Bebby. We go 4 too. Debbie O'Bebby too. So 4. If it hits any one of those people, I will send you a shirt. All right.
Tony, would you like to see a VR from video game or a VR from experience?
Something like Jason. I would love to see a VR perspective. We also have a super chat from someone up there. I gotta get that too. I know I missed it when I was going. Let me go over here. Down here. Fernandez T sent the super chat. Thank you so much. Says, can or will you guide us one theory you have we don't see coming that will blow our minds tonight? One theory that will blow everybody's minds out that we haven't seen coming. I gave out one already. The Victor digging up his mother. I think that's a big one. My second one would be that I believe that there is some type of note inside of the mannequin. There's a note inside that damn mannequin that's going to help them solve what's going on with Christopher. That will help Jade figure that out. I will say that one there. So hopefully that those are 2 things. I've also said that she's coming back in the ambulance. Tabitha will be back in the ambulance. That's 3 theories for you. Hopefully they're mind-blowing. Can I think of another one? I don't know. How about you guys? You got any other theories that's going to blow people's minds?
Mind-blowing theory. Okay. Somehow, even though there's no food, Jade will still find some way to find weed or mushrooms or something and trip or do drugs. Somehow Jade's going to find a way to get high this season, even though there's absolutely no logical way for him to find substances. He's going to use his intelligence to get high at one point this season. And that's why he looks all disheveled. That's my big blow your mind theory, Fernandez T.
That's a tough one. Wait a minute. I think, I mean, my best one, the latest trailer kind of spoiled. I'm kind of pissed because, well, actually, I put it in a video before the trailer came out, so at least there's that. But I was predicting that Tabitha will see the boy in white in the real world. Ooh. And I said that before the second trailer came out, and I mentioned it in my video before that. So yeah, I think that the boy in white can actually appear and reach out to people in the real world, and he was responsible for the voice Father Kotri heard when he thought he heard the voice of God that told him to get back in the car and drive. 2 hours later, he was in Fromville. He was about to jump off a bridge. He said, for the first time in my life, I heard the voice of God. I think it was the boy in white talking to him. And I think he's drawn other people in the same way. He appeared to Elgin in a dream on his way into town on the bus. And that was implied, but we weren't totally sure when the dream happened. But yeah, we got confirmation from that second trailer. I know, Tony, you mentioned in my chat the other night that we don't know for sure if Tabitha's imagining it, if she's seeing things. But I think the boy in white is really there. I think he can appear to people when he wants to. And he looks so much like fucking Pennywise down the street waving. Like, it was such a Pennywise moment. I was just freaking out. I was so psyched to see that theory confirmed. So yeah.
I don't know if it's been confirmed yet that if he in everybody's head at the same time, the people he exposes himself to, if they're actually, I mean, the only thing we could run on is that when the water was dripping, his hair was wet. Now, that could say he was there really, or that could just say that they messed it up a little bit. It would have gave away too much if they had him completely dry there, and he's really just some type of hologram that people are seeing. Because so I need to see, did he physically interact with anyone except for Tabitha the window.
He physically touched Tabitha.
That's the only person I've ever touched at that time was her.
Did he ever touch? Okay, who else have we seen him close to? Sarah and Boyd in the woods. But when he appeared to Ethan every time, he was sort of at a distance, right? Like always sort of a little far away. He never kind of got up close to him. I'm just trying to think of all the times we've seen the boy in white. I think Tabitha was the only time he was like really up close to somebody either, right? Mm-hmm. Like, unless I'm missing something in my mind.
No, I think you're right on that too. But yeah, listen, that theory's correct because you've seen it. You came up with it, and we see him in the trailer, and he's out in the real world. So regardless whether it's a hologram of him or him, she's seeing it.
Right.
And that's all that matters and stuff. So she does see him in the real world.
To tie it back to another question from earlier, could the boy in white just exist in the lighthouse, and every other time you see him there, he just projects himself from the lighthouse somehow? To go to what you were just saying, like a projection, but like when he's at the lighthouse, it's actually the boy in white. Mm-hmm. And that's why he physically could touch Tabitha, and we've never seen him physically touch anybody. Sorry, everything's dirty tonight for me.
Everything's Diddy tonight.
Yeah, everything's Diddy tonight.
Everything's wrong with Diddy tonight.
He's not actually touching people outside of the lighthouse. So maybe the
boy in white's got 1,000 bottles of lube up in the lighthouse.
Hanging out in the lighthouse, Tony. Yeah, exactly.
What up to Faraway in the Building Rock? 1,000 bottles of lube in the lighthouse. The boy in white.
That's the shocking theory of the night.
Drunk Bishop, Tony, how do you think they make the town loop whenever someone tries to drive away? How can science fiction explain it? Seems supernatural. Well, I will say that if they are using a wormhole technology, then it's pretty easy if it's a wormhole, right? And they're all stuck inside this place to loop a place. You wouldn't be able, you go out one side of a wormhole, you come in the other side, you wind up where they want you to wind up. So it would be easy for them to do that if it was they're using some type of technology, and most definitely the wormhole technology, which I also think they're using to transport people around in the faraway trees. They just have them disguised as trees because they're inside of a forest and stuff, but I do believe that is how people are being transferred around. I do not believe that it's hocus pocus magic. I just don't see it. How about you, Julie? Do you think it's hocus pocus magic that's going on here with them trapped in there in these faraway trees?
Not at all. Not at all. I think the faraway trees are teleportation devices, and I think that people loop around and around, just like you said. It's through wormholes. Like there's a concept called like the so-called thin spot between dimensions, and if you pass through it, you can just keep looping around. I think that's how people get there in the first place. It's like in Constellation, there were these thin spots where you could cross over, and I don't think it's magic or anything like that. I do think it's about wormholes and teleportation through that kind of thing.
Golden Child, thank you for the super chat. He says, can members buy a signed copy of your book? Yes, if you wanted to buy a signed copy of the book, I will definitely provide y'all with some signed copies of the book. No problem. Sunday, this book will be out Sunday. I guarantee it. Even if it takes me all day Saturday, and it probably is, it doesn't matter. It's coming out Sunday, and that's just the bottom line. Got no more time to waste. Larry says, thank you for the super chat. The boy in white is played by the son of Mike Smith, aka Bubbles from the Trailer Park Boys. No, isn't that the girl? Phil? I can't hear you. Yeah, still, is it me again?
No, that was me. I couldn't click. It was doing that thing. I couldn't click on it. I didn't really watch the Trailer Park Boys, I'll be honest.
Because I know that Molly Dunsworth.
She was on it.
Her father was from the Trailer Park Boys.
My ex-wife was a big fan, so I'd watch it in the background while she was watching it sometimes, but I didn't pay it too much attention to it. Funny stuff. It's not something I got into.
She's saying, so yeah, but I know Molly Dunsworth was on there and stuff like that. But yeah, that's great. So Vad Smith is there are two people from the Trailer Park Boys children in this show.
Interesting.
That were in this show.
Cool.
That is
it's like the just for 10 of Us Nightmare on Elm Street connection. And just the 10 of Us was a spinoff of Growing Pains that had like 4 or 5 of the 10 daughters that this dude had. 5 of them were girls that were in Nightmare on Elm Street movies.
I know they had like a cheeseburger, something with cheeseburgers in Trailer Park Boys, or some cheeseburger thing going on there. I seen one episode, it was like some cheeseburger. And today is National Cheeseburger Day, by the way, in the United States. National Cheeseburger. Those deals on cheeseburgers all the time. They give McDoubles for 50 cents all day. 50 cent McDoubles all day at McDonald's for National Cheeseburger Day and everything else. All right. So let me just keep going on and keep talking about this great show. So we have discussed I think damn, I want a cheeseburger now. Let's see. What can I think we discussed it, Boy and White. All right, let's go to the bracelet. I seen someone brought up the bracelet. What's going on with the bracelet, Julie B? How do you explain that bracelet situation going on?
Okay, I have a completely different take on it than most people, and people may not really like it, but it's just what I think. So I don't think that there's time travel involved. I know that's the majority of people think that, and yeah, it's made of bootstraps, so it kind of makes you think of the bootstrap paradox. So maybe time travel, but if they did that, it would be so messy. It's just not going to be a clean, nice time travel story. I'm telling you, it would be so messy. Now, I believe that the bracelet could have been pulled out of someone's dream. We see how physical things have been pulled out of dreams in this show. Boyd took a torch out of a dream state with Martin, and he brought it back in to get the 3 and save them at the end, the 3 that were chained up.
All right, wait. So you're saying that when Boyd was in the well, the whole time he was dreaming?
Not literally asleep the whole time, but in a dream state, having a vision. So he fell asleep and did have a dream in there. He was walking down the street alone.
We did say that.
Like a waking dreams of sort, like a dream state of vision quest, dreamy type shit.
Yes. And I could not figure out how that worked until Real Enigmas explained that. Real Enigmas broke that down, and I was like, oh my God, it fits. It finally fits. I understand now what happened. It was a dream state with Martin, and it was a dream state when he returned to it with those 3. But I'm getting off topic, but like as far as the bracelet goes, like if you look at, there are other examples too of physical things that have been pulled from dreams. Elgin, he woke up spitting up water when he was having that bathtub dream. Kenny got burned by a cicada from a dream. So people can take physical things out of dreams. So I think Miranda back in 1978 had a premonition dream, saw the bracelet, and took it out of the dream, and that's how she got it. Now I know that sounds out there, but I mean, that's
not as out there as some stuff we've heard.
I mean, we know people have premonitions because Tabitha had a premonition dream. So maybe Miranda did too, and she took something physical out of it. Sorry, go ahead, Tony.
Yeah, I've heard Rio explain this theory to me when he came up with it. I've heard him say it, and even to him, I gave him a little pushback on it because I don't think Boyd was dreaming when he was inside of there. Me personally, I don't think he was asleep. I'm not saying that you can't take things out of dreams. I'm just saying, I mean, we've seen it in Freddy Krueger, right? They took his hat out, pulled him out.
Nancy had that. Each one of them had different powers. Nancy's power was that she could grab something in a dream and bring it out of the dream. So that's how they got Freddy in the first movie. Spoiler alert. She held on to him and then brought him into the real world, and they were able to fuck with him there.
Take him out. Yeah, so I at that, because only reason why I say is because they make an issue to show you that he was asleep at one time inside of the well, and then show him wake up from that. So if it was,
you can have a dream within a dream, though, like a dream.
That's what I'm saying. That's what it would have to be. A dream within a dream. It would have to be a dream within a dream, which I've had multiple times. I think the best depiction of a dream within a dream has been American Werewolf in London. If you've ever seen that movie, American Werewolf in London, that's the best depiction I've ever seen of a dream in a dream ever happened and stuff. So that would be my only pushback on it, is that I don't think that he's asleep at that time with Martin.
No, he's not
but
asleep.
If he is,
yeah, he's not asleep.
Not,
he was like asleep within a waking dream state, is the way I look at it. He was in a dream state, just like when he walked past the root cellar and the ballerina came out. He wasn't actually asleep. That was a waking dream. That's what I think that was. And Real Enigmas, like when he explained that's when it clicked. And that's how I came up with the idea that maybe the bracelet was pulled from a dream, because there wasn't just the torch as the example. We've got other evidence. Elgin, like Kenny, like I mentioned, they didn't pull objects from dreams. It was water and a burn on Kenny's arm, but it's still something physical. So I do think.
I mean, 100% that Kenny had the vision. He got burnt by the cicada. That's a fact. We've seen Elgin definitely, because when he came on the channel and we talked to him about the bathtub scene, he said it wasn't a little bit of water; it was like a river of water that he was throwing up. Right? That's what the way he was told that it was when he was throwing up like a whole shit ton of water and stuff. So. But he was also in the tub too, so he did. I mean, there's water in the tub, so he could have been just, But so it's. I could see it going down like that. I could understand what you're saying. It's a great theory, it really is. I don't know if it ends up. Looks like I don't know how it ends anyway. I don't know if that explains the bracelet of how it got to everybody. So who does she, in this theory, because I'm just trying to explain it. She's Victor's mom is asleep.
Yes.
And Victor's then she gets the bracelet from who?
So Victor's mom would have had a premonition dream, like where she's actually asleep. She sees the future from Bill in that dream.
Yeah.
And she finds the bracelet. And then when she wakes up, she's got it for real. And that's how it ends up there. It falls off her wrist when she gets killed, and then it ends up stuck there. It ends up like there for Tabitha to find many years later.
Right.
That's what I think.
But it doesn't explain how Tabitha made it for Jim.
I mean, she's the one. So Tabitha's the one who made it for real.
Yep.
It was Tabitha made the bracelet.
Yep.
But Miranda essentially had a copy of it by taking it out of the dream. So it's So I know it's like it's really it's a lot to kind of
that means that there's two of these bracelets.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was the real one, then there was the one that got brought in from a dream state.
From a dream. So that's two bracelets. Yeah,
exactly.
I think it's either one bracelet. The two bracelet theory is I'm just trying to explain so everybody here can, I try to make it so that everybody in the chat can explain exactly what's going on. So the two bracelet theory, one from the dream and one that Tabitha made, that could be a situation that we deal with, a two bracelet theory. If it's a one bracelet theory, and my theory is only if it's a one bracelet. If it's two bracelets, it doesn't hold water. But if it is just a one bracelet, I think that it's going to be Tabitha. She's going to go back into time. We've seen her in the vision where she's standing outside the post office and it's all decorated, all nice and everything else, and she's looking around outside. I think she goes back to when Victor was a child with Eloise. She meets Victor's mom, becomes friends with Victor's mom from back then, and then she leaves. Somehow she gets out of there. Faraway tree or something takes her somewhere out. She gets out of there. She leaves the bracelets behind, but because she's friends with Victor's mom sees the bracelet. She puts the bracelet on her. And then that's how she gets the bracelet.
That's how the loop happens.
Yeah, that's the way I would say. If there's one bracelet, if there's multiple bracelets, then hey, it could be anything. But if there's one, that's how I would see the one thing going on with the bracelet and everything else. Tabitha goes back, she drops it off there, and then she comes back. Victor's mom's got it. She dies. Victor finds the bracelet on his mom. He takes it, gives it to Mrs. Lou. She puts it in the storage shed, and Tabitha goes in there, and now she got it.
That's possible. I mean, even then though, it's so messy. Like, it's so messy because Tabitha would be bringing her the bracelet, and then she'd come back and like she'd still create the bracelet in the 2000s when she originally creates it. So that means there are 2 bracelets now. It's still 2 bracelets because like Tabitha would have the one she made, Miranda would have the one in the past that's sitting in Fromville. So somehow there are still 2 bracelets. It's really hard to wrap your head around. I've tried every way I could think of to make the time travel angle make sense in my head, and it's just I can't do it. But it's absolutely possible, though. I'd like to see time travel if they can write it so that it actually works and it's not too messy. Then that would be really cool. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully they explain it. That's one of the biggest.
That's one of the big mysteries. This bracelet, they do got to figure that bracelet out. Edward Martin, thank you for the super chat. Dreams and realities are as one sometimes. Try to stay above ground and not lose my mind. What's up, my Don, Phil? Hey, Effa. It's your boy E. Martin. No Diddy. Yeah, I think that time travel is going to be a thing in this show. I don't see how they get around not doing some form of time travel. I think that in order to explain some of these things, they have to be like, all right, so we see that guy drinking the blood out of the skull. I think everyone thinks it's a vision. I think that guy is real. I do. I think he's real. I know everyone thinks it is a vision. Most likely, Jade has had a lot of visions and everything else. And again, we've seen Jade. Again, here we are with visions interacting with people in the physical, sort of interacting with people in the physical realm. Because when Jade did get stabbed, he really wasn't stabbed. But when Tabitha got, smacked around by the little kid, her nose did start to bleed. So it seems like sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. You know what I mean? So
a lot of some of the time travel stuff could be based around time travel, could be based around looping as well. Looping could explain a lot of people having visions of things that have happened before because they've been through other loops of it as well. So, I mean, I think time travel is inherently a little messy naturally. It depends, but some shows have obviously done it better than others. And I'll be honest that I think Lost did time travel pretty good. So if there's any of that DNA crossed over, I wouldn't mind seeing it done in sort of like a tasteful way. But time travel's tricky. But because there is no complete logic to it because it's freaking time travel. But so it's inherently messy. But I also think there'll probably be some element of it that shows up at some point in this series. It does, or looping, or that this has happened several times with these people as something that you stated a little bit earlier, Tony, as a speculation thing. Like maybe this is a loop that they're on and they've been through this a couple times.
He says the real Rebel Eric says so the bracelet equals Gray Sports Almanac. Because you always have that type of paradox, and they talk about that paradox of what comes first, as if you read somebody, an example people have given, if say you read somebody's book, and then you go back in the time and you meet this, and before you meet this person, you put that book on that person's front door and then ring the bell. And then that person picks up the book and then publishes that book, right? So that's the paradox. What actually came first? Because you read the book, but then you wouldn't. You read the book the guy wrote, but the guy wouldn't have wrote the book because you went back in time and gave him the book.
Or something happens to stop it. I don't know if any of you guys have seen Peggy Sue Got Married, but she gives Nick Cage's character the lyrics to like a Beatles hit song, and he changes all the yeahs to ooh ooh ooh. So it's a shitty song. Like something will happen to mess it up, so the Beatles wouldn't write that song. So the Beatles would write that song. Excuse me.
Mary Kent, a member for 23 solid months, almost 2 years. Thank you. So May Kent, thank you so much. I would love to find out how Jade got out the cave. Did he not get out the cave in the last season? Was he still in the cave? He was, right? Just looking up. Is that how it ended? Or did he make his way out the cave?
No, he was still in the cave. He was still in the cave. Yeah. And I think we're gonna get a 3-day time jump because I think you said this, Tony, because Tabitha was found by hikers 3 days before, they told her. So they're gonna have to do a 3-day time jump in Fromville too. So I don't think we'll see Jade actually leave the cave. We'll just hear about it.
Yeah, you're correct on that. It just does not seem like they're going to show him like the last season. It was directly picked up where it left off, you know, and it directly showed Victor and Tabitha in the cave, which I think they had to, and everything else right there. So I'm trying to see if Jesse gifted one membership, if one of the people got the membership. If we got a winner,
Javon Keys that got the membership. I don't think that's Javon Keys.
Nope, John Keys is not one of the winners. But thank you for John Keys becoming a membership. Remember, it's J Sleek, Glue Guns and Roses, and She Does the Most is what we're looking for. One of those three to land on. Maybe we'll add one more person. Let's add, because we're over 200 people here, so we'll add another person in there. How about Glenn Carter? Glenn Carter, if it lands on Glenn Carter, also we'll give away a shirt. So you add somebody else in there and everything else. Share stories. She says, thank you, Tony, for all the live streams and being a leader in the From fan community. I'm very excited for season 3. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate the kind words. I don't know if I guess I'm one of the leaders in this community, I guess. So
there you are.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, my camera keeps messing up, but yeah, I'm happy to be considered as such and stuff. I'm gonna have to shut my camera down if it's gonna keep freezing like that and everything else. So maybe they won't freeze anymore. Is the voice fine, or is this the camera is just going a little bonkers?
Your voice sounds fine.
Or is everything slowing down?
Yeah, funny enough, your voice kind of slowed down for a second there when you started, but for the most part, you sound fine.
All right, good. We're gonna keep it like this because there's something going on with this damn computer. I don't know how to get it fixed and everything before That's right. Tony is from Queens, New York. You let him know. You let him know where we're going. Everything else. Where is Tony from? I like the way he says. Yeah, I'm from Queens, New York. Queens, New York. That's where we're from. Representing Blood Guts and Flushing and Fresh Meadows. Representing always to the fullest. All right. We have talked a little bit about Tabitha. We have talked about Victor. Boyd. We have discussed. All right, let's go into a little bit dealing with Boyd and
yeah, I guess we haven't really talked about Boyd.
Yeah. So what we're dealing with Boyd this season is, you know, the monster's trying to break him. That's what they put in the trailer and everything else. What do you think? I don't know if it's actually doable, but what do you think would be something that would break Boyd, what they're trying to do there, Phil? And then Julie.
I mean, I think anything to do with, to repeat myself from earlier, the baby stuff will probably do horrible things to Boyd. I think hurting Ellis in any way would definitely affect him. But another thing about Boyd that is maybe could break him is to get into our descriptions. Isn't there something about Boyd, you know, coming up with a plan that people don't like and try to talk him out of? So, I mean, something bad could happen in that situation.
God damn it.
I know exactly. That's a big part of one of the questions I meant to mention earlier, but I didn't want to. And we wanted to break the rules a little bit. I didn't want to name 10 questions, but that's another one. Like, what is this plan that he has that people try to talk him out of that he ends up doing?
Julie, do you have any idea what you think Boyd's plan is?
That's driving me crazy trying to figure that out. I don't know. I don't know what his plan could be. I mean, as far as what could break him, I mean, I think they're gonna probably do something to Fatima and the baby. I think Fatima's gonna die. They're gonna, and it's gonna be right in front of him, and that will that will probably break him. And I mean, not completely break him, but make him ineffective for a while. If and then he'll bounce back. But as far as the plan, I am at a loss. Like, what kind of dangerous plan could he be trying to do? Maybe use himself as bait for something. Like, I heard a really interesting theory. I think it was Nick L in the Discord. He said, like, why doesn't somebody drive a car right up to the entrance of the cave where the monsters are and like block the entrance with the car and see what happens, like, and then like maybe throw something down in there. Like, I mean, this wasn't what he said, but somebody should throw like fire, like throw like a lit match in there, something.
Molotov cocktail or something, like something like a grenade or some shit.
Yeah, and then park the car so they can't get out. Like that would be
burn them. Just burn them. If you got cars there, that means there's gas. They got gas in those tanks.
They're making alcohol too.
Yeah,
I mean, they have stuff that can burn.
You're correct. They're making alcohol. There's no reason not to burn these motherfuckers in the ass cheeks. It makes no sense. No Diddy. It makes no sense for that not to happen. It makes no sense for that not to happen. And that's it. Son Diddy down there with a bottle of lube, and you see him run real. Those monsters start moving much faster than they are now.
That's a real monster right there. That's a real fucking monster. That's scarier than Smiley any day.
That's the most scariest thing in the world. If you could make a haunted house and have a Diddy doll with a bottle of lube, everyone running out that haunted house.
Dude, there's gonna be a universal Halloween horror ride. Don't go to Diddy Island.
Ghouls, vampires, fuck all that. I'm out of here. Diddy's here. I gotta go.
I don't want to go to that haunted house, Tony.
I gotta get
no.
Goddamn,
that's too much for me.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. But back to this pro. I think that
we got to do a separate stream on this, Tony.
Yeah, definitely. I think that what would break board. If it is, and I do believe we all agree that it's that Kenny's mom does pass away, and and she does pass away when Kenny is not in town. It could break him to have to face Kenny and say, "I couldn't save your mother."
Yeah,
because that's what it's going to have to. He's going to have to, because if he leaves town, Kenny, Boyd's in charge, and if Miss Lou died, it's on Boyd. It's on Boyd. Anyone died, but especially that lady died, it's going to be on Boyd. And he's going to have to be the one, because, Boyd, it's not like anyone else is going to come up to him and tell him what happened. It's going to be Boyd that's going to have to tell him what happened.
My question for you, Tony, is if Kenny being crestfallen for what happens to his mother and Boyd feeling responsible, does that break him or does that piss him off enough to go into whatever this crazy plan is? I don't know if that breaks him, though. I think it upsets him. It messes with him. It screws, but I think it more pisses Boyd off more. I don't know if that drives him over his breaking point. I'm not sure, though. Possibly, but my thought is it's just another brick in the wall, but something else pushes him over that edge. But that is a big brick. I think he's just going to get pissed off after that and go full I said that earlier today. We got another gifted membership. Thank you, Jason H. Hopefully he hits one of the lucky people and you get to win a t-shirt. Yeah, I said it before. Like, the monsters may be trying to break someone, but in their attempt, they could galvanize the whole town. Dude,
because you kill somebody like her, and the whole town may revolt and say, you know what, man? Fuck these monsters,
dude. And Boyd goes full Liam Neeson from like the Taken movies, and you don't want to fuck with Boyd. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, Boyd just like, oh, I got a certain set of skills.
Yeah, Boyd's got a certain set of skills you don't want to mess with, Tony.
Listen, if I answered the phone and Diddy was on the phone, I heard his voice and he said that, I'm hanging up and leaving.
Exactly. Is Harold Perrineau going to play him in the Diddy movie?
Diddy, hello? I got a certain set of skills. No.
I told you that I wouldn't stop. I told you that I wouldn't stop. It has a whole other meaning now.
I'm going. All right. No one Diddy.
Sorry. Future After Dark coming. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
It's too easy to make these jokes.
Dude, it's fish in the barrel. We got to get this over with now before everyone does it.
Right there. It's right there. Oh,
my goodness.
But yeah, it may
Get 'em up.
galvanize people. And so what if Boyd's thing is to maybe, as we talked about before, maybe he's trying to pull a white from Game of Thrones. You think that's a possibility, Phil? That he's going to
explain that a little bit better.
He's going to try to pull a white and bring it to King's Landing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure what you meant, but yeah, very possibly. I mean, the only thing that gets me away from that is, look, we were close to that last season with doing the autopsy, and that could definitely be one to bring a live one back in some way, but it's certainly a possibility, Tony.
What do you think about that, Julie?
No, I've never actually. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm probably like the only person left who's never seen that show. So I don't even know.
So there's a zombie monster of some sort, and they go and they try to steal one of the zombie monsters to prove to other people that the zombie monster things exist, to kind of learn more about the zombie monster thing.
Oh, okay.
Is that close, Tony? Was that
yes,
I don't think they would do that just because they already got Smiley and opened him up and didn't get anything out of that. So I don't know what good it would do to trap a monster. And I mean, I don't know. Like, how would you even, like, if you were going to experiment on it or do anything to it while it's alive, it would just kill you. And if it, so I don't know. I don't know. What I would like to see them do is, try to trap a monster like inside of a house and like see what happens when the sun comes up and there's sunlight coming through the windows. Like that I would like to see.
Like you got to get one alive. That's the whole thing. You got to get one alive in order to, because people said, oh, it didn't burst into flames when Smiley was out there, but Smiley was already dead. And they really didn't get any information from him other than that they were at least at one point in time human beings. So you didn't really learn anything. These monsters talk. It's not like they speak English. So, what would they say? They got these guys, especially that'd be the one I want, the cowboy motherfucker, because he's got the biggest mouth of them all. You know what I mean? And he's always talking. Oh, you said we couldn't break you. That's what you said. So now, now I capture your ass and lasso your ass and say, yeah, I said that, boy. Yeah, I said that. Now we're going to see if I can break you. And we're going to see if I can break you. Now we're going to see what goes on and everything else, and that, I mean, why not the box? If you have to, I mean, that's the way they did it. And there's a movie called The Ghost in the Darkness, where they tried to capture this lion. And the way it was set was the guy was inside the thing that looks just like the box. And when the lion walks towards him, it hits the switch, the thing closes behind him, and he's able to leave on the other side. So why not use the box in that type of method and just do a two-side and have talismans on both sides and outside of it?
Drop it down, like drop the seal them in, like drop. Like,
seal them in, or have a box with some side of a box with a talisman in it so that they can't get out and stuff. Because the talisman doesn't allow them to get out, then that has to be the way to capture these motherfuckers. So why don't we just box them in and just hold them in there with it? Because they are strong, as Jay Sleek is saying, but for some reason they're not allowed to break the doors with the talisman, so they wouldn't be able to break the door. Or the vestibule in the Colony House, right? What about that? We've seen Fatima and Ellis survive in there and they couldn't get in there. What if we get one of them in there and have a talisman on both sides of the doors? Will they be able to get out from that vestibule? Just keep them in there.
Yeah, see, this would be useful to do. Now I'm thinking about it. Yeah, they can't get close enough to do anything to it while it's alive, but we could at least see what sunlight does to it. Trap it in that box, trap it in that vestibule, and just see like what happens when sunlight hits it, because it's possible that nothing happened because Smiley was dead. So I agree with you on that. I'd like to see that.
Do you know who I'm catching? I'm catching that grandmother. She's shady. Let's capture the grandmother one. Put her out in the sunlight.
No, you gotta get one. You need the one with the big mouth. like the nurse who's dangling.
She was talking at the windows and stuff like that. You know, she goes, "Hi, honey, let me in." You know,
yeah,
she's one of the
that
first
nurse with dangling those keys. Oh, you can't save them all. You need.
We really need them to bring back Molly and have Molly be the one that they capture, because that'd be perfect.
Then porn stash would be like, I've been waiting for this.
He'll come back. Porn stash will come back from the dead and be like, "Oh, she's finally here."
Come back.
He's like, "I'm coming back." The real porn stash, you know, from Sabaka there.
Rose Jones says, "Can they make more talismans?" This is one of the questions that's on the board, right? Jade writes the board, and I think that board is the most important thing in this whole show. And I think that's one of the reasons why they destroyed the Matthews house, because they wanted to clear that board so no one else could look at that board. But those questions on his board, if you answer those questions, you solve this mystery. And one of the questions that were on the board was, what are the talismans? Can we make more of them? Mm-hmm. And then he said we start is, where are we? That's where he said we circle this one. This is where we start. Where are we? And also they do have a comment on that board about aliens. If you look all the way to the right, they try to hide it. In the end, that's how you know it's important, because they didn't put it right in the front. They tried to hide it all the way in the back. But it does say something about aliens on that board there too, and stuff.
How many talismans?
It also says on it too, why aren't the monsters eating the livestock? It says that on the board. Why aren't they eating the livestock? You know, that's a question that he has on that board and stuff. So you look at that board, all those questions. I would pull it up for you right now, but this stupid thing is not allowing me to do it. So just keep. Oh, wait a second. Now you want to work for me. Let me see if
Are we talking about Diddy again?
No. Let me see if it's on this one.
Yeah, why do the monsters only kill and not eat? And I mean, that's one of the things I guess we learned a little bit from the autopsy situation, that there isn't really much going on the inside. So they're the thought that maybe they are some sort of Borg drone of sorts, if people understand that from Star Trek stuff, like Borg drone more from some single consciousness controlling them is more likely if they're not feeding on any source, you know, not having to feed or not having to eat or anything. Ultimately, what came from the autopsy, just the silver bullet thing or the coating the bullets thing that ended up not working, right? They're just like, we can use this as a way to coat bullets and try to kill other ones, and it didn't work, right?
Completely pointless. I just remembered something, actually. That theory I was talking about, I forgot. It was actually even better than that. So it was Nick L. I want to make sure I give him credit. Nick L. Said this, and he's in like Jeremy's Discord. He said, what if you wait for nighttime and all the monsters are out somewhere, then you drive the car in front of the cave entrance so they can't get back in, and see what happens. Like, drive the car in front, and then if the sun comes up, you could maybe even kill them all if the sunlight kills them. I thought that was a really genius idea. So, you know, something to think about.
You could do a landslide. There's a lot of things. If you got like 18 hours, there's got to be a way to plug that hole. You know,
right?
You know, there's got to be a way to do it.
There's a hole in the bucket. Yeah, absolutely. That's a very good idea to do something to try to block the way that they get out. Are they going to find another exit? Is there another exit, or does it trap them in there? And then you could do something like burn them all at once. Have we seen if burning them works yet? We've seen shooting. We've seen a lot of stuff. Have they tried to burn them? No. Have we seen the pits? No. Like digging pits with fire pits from the fallen, traps, all that sort of stuff. Like try all that stuff.
And I think the best plan would be to like wait until the monsters are all out of the cave. Like they're out roaming around, you know, looking for people. Then you block the entrance to the cave with the car, and you sit in the car all night with a talisman so they can't get to you. Then all the monsters would be stuck out there. Who knows? I mean, there might be more than one entrance to the thing, but just, you know, it's a cool idea. It's like, I was impressed with his idea. So.
No, and he would be good battling the gremlins. That's like you got to think gremlin strategy a little bit here, to leave them out in the sunlight and have them get trapped in that way. It's just a different way of trying to combat it. And that's where everyone getting together and having some sort of group discussion and deciding what's best to do is another one of those things that I really hope we see this season. More group not coercion, community thought, trying to think of like what the best plan is together.
Yes, we need that so bad. Or at least Boyd and Jade are finally going to talk based on the pictures we saw. They're finally going to like really have a conversation. Boyd and Jade haven't put their heads together at all. So that's going to help. But we need a whole town meeting. I know everyone's been screaming that forever. They do need a freaking town meeting. Like, seriously.
Just put like a limit on how much Jim's allowed to talk.
Yes.
he's only allowed so much. Someone needs to put, a lid on Jim. I hope it happens while Jim's dealing with trying to find Tabitha.
Yeah, no, Jim is a blockhead. Like, so yeah, does not let him talk too much.
Charlie Brown, you're a block. I love that. I love that you just called him a blockhead. Charlie Brown, you're a blockhead.
He is. He really is. He's like, well, things are getting worse around here, aren't they? Gee, you think?
Yeah, what a stupid thing to say. It's getting worse around here. Really, Jimmy? You really think so?
Jim's got a mind like a steel trap, I
don't know what I did with this. I know I have the picture because I use it in the video. I don't know.
Sorry, Jesse. We'll leave Meathead alone.
That's the boy. That's the boy. Jimbo's the boy. I can't find. I know I have the guy because I've showed it.
No, you showed it a couple of weeks ago, I believe.
I just don't know where I put it. Is it in Victor's photos? That's where I should have.
Which picture?
Of the map of what Jim wrote on the board.
Oh, okay, the walls. Yeah.
I got a really good shot of it too. I don't know what I did with it. I don't know. I have no idea. I know I have it. I have it because I showed it, but I don't know where I put it.
Drunk Bishop says Jim is one of the only people looking for a way out and making progress. I think he's going to end up witnessing the unveiling of the mole. I mean, he is. I will give Jim that. He's one of the people that is actively looking to find a way out of there and not sort of dealing with everything that's happening. I just think at times some of his conspiracy theory perspectives has been detrimental, not optimal to the success of the overall situation. But I do think he does have some talents that can be accessed if we can have Jade and Boyd leading the way and Jim just putting together the roller coaster. Phil, can you open the phone line for KP? Yeah, if KP, you can call in anytime, buddy.
Yeah, phone lines are going open right now. So if you guys want to call in and give you, we love to hear from you and what you have to say. Definitely want to hear from you and everything else. So you know what I mean, and just get on there. If someone can put the number in the chat. What is the number, Phil? So I can put it in there.
781-990-8509. I'll put it in too.
There we go. We got the number in there for you to call.
Oh, Jinx, I think we did that at the same exact time.
We got the number in there for you to call. You know what I mean? And definitely give a call. We definitely want to hear from you.
There he is, right on cue. Area code 336. What's going on?
Hey, what's up?
What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Phil? What's up, Tony? Hey, Julie.
Hey.
What's going on? Who are we speaking to?
I got a theory. Oh, this is Tom.
Tom?
Yeah.
All right. What's going on, Tom?
The bartender, Tom? Are you're back, bartender, Tom? I thought you might be the mole, but I was wrong. But welcome to the show, Tom.
I have a theory. So,
right. If you can turn down the thing in the background that you're listening to us on, because it's got a little delay.
Oh, my device is on mute.
All right, because I thought I heard something. But go ahead, my brother. Let me hear that theory of yours.
Yeah, I think that Eloise is maybe how they find a way out of Fromville. So she has the paintings and the pictures she drew. We also know that Victor has been trying to suppress her memories in him. So we see that Tabitha also finds a way out of Fromville. And in the trailer for season 3, we see that she finds a bottle tree in front of a house, a random house. Now, I think that house could either be where Eloise used to live, as in the man that we see in the pictures could be her husband or someone related. But
yeah, I would say it's the father because the guy is 73 years old, the actor who's playing the character. So it would seem a little bit too old to be dating Eloise.
Could it also be a relative?
Yeah, I think it's a father. I think it's their father.
It's the father. Okay. Could be. And I think that once that is Tabitha's arc in the season is to find her. And once she finds her, they're going to find a way to get back into town to free Victor and the kids there, the Ankoe kids. That is the key to the whole story.
All right. So what is the paintings? You said we said there's paintings that she. What paintings are these?
Well, I'm theorizing that the paintings in the house that we see in the trailer cuts, those are hers because she would have premonitions of what she saw in Fromville, right? And we know that Eloise made it out since, well, I think she made it out.
We don't know.
The mother didn't make it. What if Eloise made it into the bottle tree and made it into the lighthouse? After she got into the lighthouse, she found a way to get out the same way we found Tabitha in the hospital. So that's why I think she might be the key to it.
Yeah, that's all speculation. It's no confirmation, but I do agree that most likely the mom pushed her in the tree to save her from Christopher, and she did make her way to the lighthouse and found her way out there. It could be something else. I'm going to say in a little bit that I think maybe something else was going on there, but that could be. I hear what you're saying. It makes sense to me if Eloise did paint those paintings in there. So, and I do think that she will help solve the mystery also. I think she is an important player to play, but we don't have Eloise casting this season, do we? Not that I've seen anything.
Unless they're being smart and being secretive about casting stuff. We haven't seen anything, I don't think. Maybe. Like, Julia, do you know anything about an Eloise casting?
No, they only announced 2, and it was the actress who plays Acosta and the guy who plays Henry. Nobody else. So unless they're just trying to keep it a secret, I don't know. I'm starting to think we're not going to meet Eloise, especially because Tabitha's probably coming back already in episode 4. Unfortunately, unfortunately about Eloise, because I would love to actually see her, but I personally don't really think it's going to happen.
All right, caller. Thank you for the call. We truly appreciate it.
Yeah, have a good one.
No, good. You had something to say. Oh, I was about to say you had something to say. Let me say. Go ahead. I'll take the next one.
Oh, sorry about that. First of all, I apologize to the last caller because I expected the call to be KP. So hey, KP, in area code 602, I see you calling. I'm going to decline your call right now, but
good night.
But call back after KP's call. We'll get you in 602. Welcome, KP.
Good evening, everybody. How is the chat? How is Tony? I don't know. What's the name of the young lady that's with us right now? What's her name?
I'm Julie. Julie. Yeah. Hi. Nice to hear from you, KP. I love your calls.
Really interesting takes on From that I kind of didn't consider before. Mike, this is my question. Kind of has to do with the same kind of cowboy hat guy.
Mm-hmm.
Are we sure that he's a monster? Because to me, those guys looked very, very very human and alive and like regular. I was under the impression that they were agents for whomever is responsible for this place. perhaps in kind of the same way that in oh God, what's the name of this show? Westworld. The same way that in Westworld, people, just regular dudes came in, they paid their money, and they came in, and they were able to shoot people and have gun duels at sun up, and they were able to commit sexual assault on women as they like, in that kind of same way, and they paid for this experience. And these people aren't really even people anyways. So why can't we not engage in our most debauched feelings and urges? I thought that's where they were going with that. I mean, obviously I can be wrong. From the law of From, I am less familiar with the law of From than I am with like something like Game of Thrones and some of Ice and Fire stuff. So what do you guys think about it? Do you think those are really monsters like like Smiley, for example, who, yes, they have the capacity to speak and to engage, but the way they did it was kind of obvious that they weren't regular human beings. They were very robotic in their movements. They looked kind of like they had a hive mind kind of thing going on, where they could communicate without talking or without even signaling, and that kind of thing. So, what do we think Cowboy Guy is? So that's my first question, and then the other thing I want us to consider is I recently saw a movie called The Watchers with Dakota Fanning. By the way, Dakota Fanning is 31 years old. And I remember her as being, to me, Dakota Fanning is always going to be a 5-year-old child, as she was in all the movies that I like. But she was in this movie called The Watchers. And the idea was that this group of fairies were luring people into the woods to look at them and observe them so that they could act and be like these humans. And a person, this professor, went out into the woods and he built this cabin. And he, in the process of building the cabin, every day he would get new workers. And he would encourage the workers to work all day. And then they would have, at nighttime, they would have dinner. He'd set dinner outside, and then he'd go inside. And whilst they were having dinner, the fae would come and feast on the men that were actually having the food, and all those guys would die. And those were kind of... Okay, I'm wrapping it up, Phil. I'm wrapping it up. And those guys were kind of like...
I forget what your first question is, KP.
Is there... Do you guys think that there's a... Because I know Tony's view is aliens, and I understand his view. But do we think there could be a similar fate type thing here, where a group of supernatural beings are interacting with humans to try to infiltrate us? Because the same thing happened in that show with Lakeith Stanfield, the show that he was. Oh my God, Lakeith Stanfield and. Tony, tell me what show. Anyway,
you're the Changeling. The Changeling.
That show has a similar kind of vibe to it, right? So those are my two little questions, two little things to consider. So I'd like to hear what you guys think about that. And, maybe I'm outside in the car doing hippie activities because my kids are at home, and this hippie stuff is very, very loud. So I don't want them to get touch of contact. So I'm going to listen to you guys while I roll up.
All right, brother. All right, my brother.
All right.
Love you, KP.
Yeah.
What was the question, Phil?
I love you all.
Okay, I think that's what I was saying to him. I forget his first question, and by the time we answer it, I'll forget the second one too. But I think the first one was, what are they? Were they former humans? Like, what are the actual creatures that we see? Are they robots or are they drones? Personally, this is my thing, and I think this is what KP was asking. I think they were formerly humans, but now they're drones of some sort. I think what I got from the autopsy was that it was more human than they thought. but maybe just dried up parts. Like it was like, but it was still human essentially on the inside. It was just looked like it was like a mummy. Didn't she say it was something like a mummy or something? But
yeah, she said it was mummified is the exact word.
But it was human parts. So I do think they were formerly humans at one point, but I think now they're empty vessel drones of some sort. Area code 708. Welcome to the show. What's your name and your question?
Hey, it's Chicago, man. Jackson Range here. What's going on, guys?
Welcome.
718, Queens, New York. What's going on?
Hey, Don, did you ever get a chance to research those books I was telling you about?
I did not. I have not, because I've been working on my own, so I haven't been able to get around to those books yet, bro.
Okay, completely understand, man. Time is hectic for everybody these days. But I wanted to, in a nutshell, as much as I possibly can, try to narrow down my theory in a way where I believe that the writers are going to use H.P. Lovecraft's versions of the Elder Ones, so there's no confliction between people, religion, etc., as the people who created us to be slaves for them, like in one of those books, The Mountains of Madness. I believe that the island that these guys are on is ancient and has been probably way before even 300 BC. Now, what I don't know if they're going to go as far back as just 1506, like the Lighthouse dates, or they're going to go further back than that. That was my problem, because they said it can go back to the Garden of Eden. So I think they're going to use his work, the four main gods that he created, that in the Mountains of Madness, we were told there was 3 scientific students from going on an exhibition to Antarctica in that book from a university that ended up running into these gods, and they ended up telling them that they made human beings for slavery. That's just the gist of it. Them 3 books I told you about are the ones that Chrissy gave, that Kenny gave Chrissy. So this island is moving just like in Lost, and is a interdimensional gate to what the Inuits believed as Anthala Island, which means edge of the world, and it's a gateway to Agartha, because Edgar Allan Poe was really big on the Agartha inner Earth theory, but in his theory, it was a connection to 2 dimensions, and the way you got there was that island. And everybody that went on exhibitions that went to Newfoundland, they ended up getting lost on that island on the way back in some way, shape, or form. That's what I believe that's going on.
I love that theory. I think it's I think that theory is amazing. I love that theory and everything else. I think it's a great theory. We're dealing with interdimensional time travel and all that stuff. It doesn't bring in the magic, because I don't believe in the magic, and that's why I kind of like it, but it does solve a lot of other things. So I find that theory plausible.
Yeah.
Now, also, you guys were talking about how these monsters. Now, the Inuit people were also the Thules and the Bealtucks. They were just their ancestors from one another, but they dated back to the original Thules in 300 BC, when Pythias first got to North America. He called them the painted people. Now, these Inuit shamans, they were called the Anguis, and they used to use the items and belongings of the dead to bring them back to life and control them in some way, shape, or form. They also believed in skinwalkers and wendigos. So I believe that's also a combination of what the monsters are in this place. And I believe they're being controlled by these shaman. Like, I'll give you an example. The music box, I believe the music box belonged to the ballerina. I don't believe it was Martin's entity or anything like that. I think that was separate. Once the music box was destroyed, the ballerina was gone. I think Smiley was the original person who had the Van Coolidge doll before, what's his name? Christopher used to use it to make people laugh. And that's how they're controlling the dead people.
With their items. So you're saying like the TV set, the bicycle, the dolls, all those things are
everything that's in there that belongs to somebody, correct?
Belongs to one of the monsters, and they're using that item to control those monsters.
Yes, it was believed that the Inuit summon used to summon, be able to bring them back, to control them on Earth. That's what they believed in. And they believed in the Inuit, which are those little the kind of like house stones.
Yep, the little jingle board.
Correct. And they were the first ones to make the sundial. So there's a lot of Inuit talking about it. If it goes back just to 1506, they would be considered Inuit, not Beothuks or the other the Thulis. They will be considered Inuits, and they worshipped a big giant god. I mean, a deity, eye deity. That was their god that they worshipped. And the shaman used to wear like sheep face with ears, with a third eye symbol, kind of like the shirt Julie was wearing in the diner.
All right, interesting. That's very interesting.
Inuit culture, I believe, when it comes to indigenous, on top of H.P. Lovecraft, mixed into one big bowl for everybody.
All right, listen,
I'm
feeling the theory. We're gonna have to get to some other callers, my brother. But I feel the theory. I think the only way to really do it justice is like you have to come on like a live stream. I think I should get Taryn Matheru on there with you, Taryn, and Real. Maybe I'll get all of us together because they're into stuff that you're saying, and they would understand it a little bit better than me. We get all of us together, and then we can run through it and see how it all fits in. Because it sounds like a lot of your stuff ties into Taryn stuff also, so it might link together with him.
I think it ties into everybody's actually, but yeah, that'll be great, man. Just let me know, and we can set something up. I'm available anytime.
All right, that's what's up, my brother.
All right, guys. Thank you.
All right, peace out. We got another call coming through. Phil, who is this?
We do. This is from area code 347. Area code 347. What's your name? Where you calling from? And what's your question?
Hi, this is Rose Jones. I'm calling from Brooklyn.
What's going on, Rose Jones? Why you sound so sad saying it like that? Hi, this is Rose Jones. Well, it's Rose Jones from Brooklyn, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh no, I'm deep in my cups listening to this.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm totally with you.
I was surprised you guys are still on. I have a question in regards to the book. I have some traveling to do on Sunday. Is it possible to like pre-order?
No, I would love to put
on Sunday, and then after that we did.
I would love to have it on pre-order. The earliest I can get it on pre-order would be Saturday. So if it does go up on pre-order, it'll be Saturday, but it'll definitely be out on Sunday.
Oh, okay. Also, someone in the chat had asked what it was about. I know, but I figure you should just reiterate, Michael Sales.
I would say that the book is about a female, black female FBI agent who is trying to track down a serial kidnapper who has kidnapped over 25 children in the past year. That is the overarching arc of the story, but there's a lot more going on into the story than that, but that would be the overarching arc of the story.
Oh, okay. All right. And then my final question is like, how do we buy merch? Because I done gave away like 50, 60 memberships trying to get a t-shirt. I just love t-shirts. I'll give you a friendly t-shirt.
All right, I'll give you a t-shirt. You have given away a lot. So how about I just get how about you hit me up on my Facebook page and I'll send you a t-shirt. How about that?
All right, no problem. Thanks, Tony. Enjoy the night, y'all.
Congratulations to our first t-shirt winner.
She did give away a lot. She has been going hard for it. There's no pause on that. So I definitely will send her one. But here it is. RC, my book's coming out. My Sunday, my book drops.
Finally, 602 is calling back. Area code 602. I feel bad because I saw you call in a couple times while we had other callers. But what's your name? What's your question? I know. Finally, I felt bad. I had to refuse your call too many times. I felt bad.
Come on down. No, this is Elisa.
Welcome.
Okay. Hey, so and I'm from the Bronx, by the way, but my
what it is.
Queen, so I have love for Queens.
All right, the Boogie Woogie. I lived in the Boogie Woogie for a year. I lived out there, for a year. I lived up in there, so I got love for the Bronx too.
Oh wow. Okay. So it's not a question. It's more of like when you guys are talking about premonition. I actually have a quick story to tell you. I'm actually a military surgery nurse, but I have one of my own about like my son. He's now 16, but I had him when I was pregnant with him. Like I was 10 weeks pregnant. I was dreaming that I was bleeding out. I mean, it may sound gory to some people. I was bleeding out, and I went to the bathroom, running, putting toilet paper there, and things like that. Then I took a little monitor and listened, and you know, I had a heartbeat. And this is in a dream. 2 weeks from that day, I had that actually happen to me. So the whole dream came true. And then I went to the bathroom, did all that, I had a little baby monitor, listened to, heart was fine, went to the emergency room. They said, oh, you're going to lose your baby, like 99%, 99.99. Then they did an ultrasound. There was a heartbeat still. And he's here now today. So that's what I'm saying. Okay. Like the premonition stuff it's real. Like, I mean, I believe your theory though, Teflon, about like the alien and Jade and all that. I believe that, but I also understand that things do happen, like spiritual stuff. Mm-hmm. Not only from my experience, just from patients as well. I've seen stuff happen. So
I hear. Listen, congratulations on your baby. I feel you on that. I'm not saying that things like that cannot happen, and I do believe that. But to me, I think a lot of times things that are perceived to be miracles and magic become when you can explain them with science and prove that it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like your situation, it can't be proven at all. That's something different. Like what happened to you in real life. But I'm saying in the show, I think some of the things that we've seen can be proven with some type of science. And they say,
I said it can. I agree. Yeah, it's like something like we really don't know what's actually happening. It seems like it could be like Jade's technology. Like I hope that we have a little backstory on him because that's interesting.
They didn't bring up Jade's company and make that company a quantum computing algorithm for nothing. Yeah. Like they could have made him, own 50 McDonald's if they really wanted to, right? They chose to make it a quantum computing algorithm. They didn't just do that just for no reason. That means something that's imperative to this show.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, I agree. Thank you for taking my call. I appreciate it.
Thank you for making the call.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye. And listen, I tell people all the time. I know people want me to believe that when I say these alien things that it's just me, but it's not me. I've asked experts.
We have all sorts of stories, mythologies, legends that could be interpreted as gods, who in reality were misinterpreted extraterrestrials.
That's what the expert says. That's all I have to say. That's the expert. He's the one who told me. I just go by what the experts say. That's it. I can't do anything else about that. You know what I mean? But here's the picture right here of Jim's wall, and you can see the talismans. The one of the first questions he says is, "Can we make them? How many are they? Are them up there?" You know what I mean? So I think these are the questions that needs to be answered and stuff. And when you're able to answer all these questions on this wall, I think that you will be able to figure out exactly what's going on here.
Yeah. I think that's key. I think they need to go back to problem solving like that. They need to get the whole town together and write every question that they have, every bizarre thing that they've seen. They all need to put their heads together. Like nobody should be keeping their mouth shut. I mean, just get a board like that, but bring everybody in on it, not just Jim and Tabitha. Yeah.
Someone asked me questions about my book. Let me answer these questions that were real quick that they said. I know I seen it up there. What were the questions you asked me? Was it going to be on ebook? I think was one of the questions. I do believe so. I think it will be on ebook. Audiobook.
Yeah, someone asked about audiobook.
If I can get someone to do the audiobook, then yes, it will be on audiobook. We're not released right away. The audiobook would have to come after. I'd have to find somebody with a good voice to do it. You know what I mean? And people say, me do it? You crazy? I would never do that. That would never happen. But, you know, if I found someone with a good voice that wanted to do it, like the voice of 916, then yeah, I could find someone like that.
Or like Quinn or Bridge or something like that, you know?
Bridge, someone like that could actually read. If I get someone like that to do it, you know what I mean? That then I would have it. But we'll have to talk to people about that. But yes, yes to the ebook and yes to paperback and hardback. Hardback. Pause.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'll try to get the voice from 916. So she could be a busy lady to sit down in the studio and actually record all of that and everything. We'll see. We'll get something going on. I like British accents. Huh?
She'd be amazing. She has the best voice. Oh my god.
Oh, 100%. There's no denying that shit. No denying that. The book would be amazing, especially certain chapters in there with her voice would be amazing to hear and everything else. Yeah. Carrie, let's take your question real quick. So, Teflon TV, what do you think of us only seeing Donna in scenes with Boyd? Do you think she is dead during some of those scenes like Katrin? I've never thought about that. Any of y'all?
What's the question? Do you think Donna's do you think she's dead?
Dead?
Do we think that Boyd's seeing more projections of other people like Steve Martin in Only Murders in the Building this season or in future seasons, like seeing projections of people around? I've never particularly thought about that, but I do think, I mean, there's precedent to Boyd seeing Abby. Was Abby really there? Mm-hmm. You know, so he's seen other people. I don't know if with Donna's one of them, but it does seem like Boyd is in a position where he's seeing projections or seeing more Cautry and Abby so far. And who knows who else in the future.
What do you think about
that? Yeah, I don't think Donna is actually dead. I mean, that would be a wild twist if there were a character who's actually dead the whole time. I've seen that happen. There was this show Slasher, and they had this character that you thought was alive the entire time, and he was just in this one woman's head, and it was an awesome twist. But with Donna, no, I mean she's in scenes with other people, not just Boyd. I mean, it's a really cool idea. I don't really think so.
I think he's saying this season that we've only seen Donna in the shots that they've showed in the trailers, only Donna with Boyd.
Okay, for this season.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna kill her off. She's too important to the show, so I don't see her dying this season. I mean nobody has plot armor except Boyd. But I don't see her getting killed off personally.
Yeah, I don't think she's dead. It's an interesting thought. Here's the cover to my book. If people are asking, that's the cover of the book. That will look like. So when you do go on Amazon, you're looking for it. That's the cover of it right there. So when you see that right there, then you know that's my book right there. Right now, y'all get a good shot of the cover.
Nice.
That's what it's called. Before the Dawn, Shadows of Deception. Obviously, you see my name up on that motherfucker, and this is book 1 of this series and stuff. So that is the cover of the book. So when you go up there, that's what you'll see. So if you see that, then you know that's my book. All right.
That's beautiful, Tony. That is just a gorgeous cover. Like that's fantastic.
Very striking.
Congratulations. That's amazing.
I designed it myself.
Wow.
You'll be able to buy it. You'll be able to buy. Well, listen, I hired somebody to do the work, but I designed it. I drew it out like stick figures, like Victor, and told them what I wanted, and they put the rest in.
Well, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I'm sure it's going to be great. So, congratulations on that book.
Thank you.
Sun ride, peace, and stay sexy.
All right, I got excited there for a second.
Sorry, I was searching for a clip of the clip.
If you're gonna see my face, I was like, oh, my tongue almost came out my mouth right there. Let's crowdfund to get Harold Pernew to narrate your book. I am about that. Let's put the pressure on Harold Pernew to narrate my book. That would be amazing to get him to do that. It would be amazing.
He would do an incredible job.
Oh, no doubt about it. Let's crowdfund for it. Let's see if we can get up to do it. Winter, thank you for the super chat. Says congrats on the book, Tono. Thank you. It's been a long time coming. I can't wait for y'all to have a chance to read it and bash it and say it's I'm not worried about that whatsoever. I am just happy to put it out there for the world to see and read and everything else. So I'm very confident and I'm very proud of it. So I just can't wait for people to get there. Yeah, but so Carrie says a black woman needs to narrate. It's about a lead black woman, so 100% I can see a black woman definitely narrating the book because the main character is a black woman in there. And Phil's in the book too.
Oh, I am.
Phil has
I knew I was.
Yeah, Phil has a character in the book. He's in the book, so you'll see a guy in there named Phil, and that's the Phil, alternate universe Phil. that's in there. So Phil is in there and everything. And when I make these books, I'm going to put names of people and stuff like that from YouTube and all that in these upcoming books. So I'll try to put them in. I'll try not to kill them all. I'll try.
That's so cool.
You can do whatever you want with alternative me.
Well, whatever happens to you, Phil, is already done. The book's done.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what my disgusting fate is.
The ink is dry, bro. The ink is dry, but you're in it. You're definitely in it. It's Phil from Boston. This Phil. You'll see. Read the book. You'll see everything. You'll know.
Oh no, I'm from. I in your book, I deal with a horrible fate.
You'll be fine.
It's not going good for me.
You'll be fine.
No, thank you, Tony. I do appreciate that. That's awesome.
Phil ain't making it to book.
Phil from Boston ain't making it. That's what I'm saying. In Tony's book, Phil from Boston is not making it.
That's Phil's prediction. We'll see.
Exactly, Carrie. Phil's not making it to book 2. Glenn Carter, possibly. I get put in the box, probably. Buy Tony's book to see how quickly I get put in the box.
You'll enjoy it. I promise.
No, I know, It'll be
good.
Excited. I'm very excited.
Who is this? Hit me up or this one? All right. What is the next? We're gonna go. Oh, we're about to wrap this up right now at the 2-minute mark. So that is usually the wrap up. I was Rose, and I'll get that done so I can get that out to her and everything else. That is Phil is the detective. Should I say? We'll take this call.
I love you, KP. The final call that we'll give from KP. KP, what's up, buddy?
Guys, I'm just came to say good night, and Gibbs came to say, Tony, where is your book is for sale on Amazon, right?
Yes, sir.
It will be for sale on Amazon, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. I will be there Sunday morning. I'll be there with my credit card, waiting to purchase it. It'll take a while to get here, I'm sure, but it's going to be probably first book I've read in reading, because I've moved totally to audiobooks. It's going to be the first book I read in reading form for 5 years, but I'm sure it will be worth it.
It's not that long. It's not a George R. R. Martin book where it's that long. You'll be able to finish it quickly.
Nice. A good weekend read. I'm done with that. Hopefully, between now and Sunday, you'll give us a little teaser of another chapter, somewhere that, a little fun, a little piece of action so we could feel the vibe as we go in. I just want to circle back a little bit on, and ask a question about a lot of this native. Do we really think that we have this Native American? Do we really think that's where we're going in this story? Because I don't know where people are catching that vibe from. There's not a Native person in the story. They don't talk about any Native American deities or cult or rituals or anything. So I'm like, when I hear Terrence and the other gentleman before speak so very confidently about Native American influence on the story, I'm wondering, like, am I missing something? What are your thoughts on that? And I don't think we ever got to the question, or we ever got to the answer of, is this let me say that is it, do we think that we can move between the from world and the real world, like through a portal, or do we think it's another realm, another dimension that you enter when you go to sleep? Because there are things that are pulling us in both directions. So that's my two little things to think about. So Tony, everybody have a great night, and I'm gonna listen till the end, finish my hippie activities, as Phil says, and run inside and catch the bed. So it was a fantastic stream. I had a good time listening to you guys, and especially the young lady. She has some really, really good takes.
She has her own channel. She has her own channel, KP, called Julie B Deep Dives.
Julie B Deep Dive. I'm gonna check. I'm gonna binge watch a couple of those episodes before I fall asleep.
All right.
Oh, thank you, KP, for the kind. I appreciate it. You seem like
very
I love when you call.
All right, everybody, have a great night. I'm heading out. I'll listen to what you guys say on the speakers here. Cheers.
Peace out, bro. Peace out. What was the question again?
Oh my God! His second question.
I got it. He's saying that what makes people think of the Native American stuff, and I think there is a bunch of Native American things, especially the dream catchers would be the thing that shows up the most. They show the dream catcher, which is a Native American thing, and we constantly hear them talk about whether this is a dream or this not a dream or anything else, and then they show the dream catchers. There's a lot of other Native American things. I would really think you'd have to ask Tarrant and the Real Enigmas for that. I'm not gonna say stuff out of turn because I know that's their stuff. So I would say watch them because they're the ones who know how to break that down better than me. I don't want to do it no disjustice. So I would rather them to be the ones to tell you that. But the one thing I can say is the dream catchers are definitely Native American, and they definitely show those constantly.
His other question, I believe, was, what is this exactly? Is it an alternate universe? Is it a bottle dimension? Is it?
I also said this too, real quick, Phil. And you weren't here, and I didn't have a chance to. And I said, when I get you on here, I'm going to talk to you about it. So I was telling them that could this whole reality that we see here be one big holodeck type situation?
Yep. I'm with you. Can you hear me? Yep.
Yep, we get you from a distance.
Okay. I had to get some hippie activities. Yep. Keep going. Yep.
Yeah. So could it be? And can you explain to the people of how the holodeck works on Star Trek so that they understand?
Well, I'll try not to be too geeky about it, but ultimately it's just a projection. You can kind of create any universe. It's a giant video game. It's not much different than what you can do with like VR to a certain extent. You can just create any sort of possible situations, and a lot of times with holograms or holographic, some people, the Romulans, use it to kind of mess with people and screw with their minds. There's an episode where they're sort of messing with people on that end, so you can sort of create any reality with it. Anything you want to do. You want to create a Robin Hood environment. You want to create Vulcan Love Slave Volume 3 as Quark does on Deep Space Nine. You can do that. So could all of this be some sort of holographic creation of some sort?
And you could interact with the holograms themselves.
Yeah, and the holograms are they're real. They're physical. So, and you can shut off the safeties in the holodeck and actually hurt yourself and die in the holodeck. It's real. It can feel real. And there's certain episodes, especially on Deep Space Nine with Vic and on Voyager with the Doctor, where holograms actually become sentient creatures, essentially, because and they know what they are. They're holograms, but they're developed. So in Star Trek, anyways, in science fiction, holograms can be real. And I'm bastardizing it a little bit, but that's basically the deal, Tony.
Yeah. So yeah, it could be a holodeck situation for this whole thing. There is nothing that they have done here that a holodeck could not explain.
No, definitely not. A holodeck situation of that sort would not be beyond anything that we've seen.
And again, we heard Jade from episode 1 thinking that it was some type of escape room. Right? That's exactly what he thought. It was an escape room, that this was some type of dream world escape room. I think he said nightmare escape room.
Tony, I guess I have one more question for you, in the sense that at one point in time you said that, and this was a while ago, this was towards the beginning of like last year, that you wouldn't have thought they would have said what the thing is on the show. At this point, do you think they've told us what the thing is?
Yep.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so that updates it a little bit from last year to this year.
Yeah, I think they've already let us know exactly what's going on here.
Someone has said it, or
someone has already said it. Someone has said it already in the show. What's going on? Someone has said it straight up, and we just didn't catch it.
Very interesting.
Interesting.
That makes rewatches. If it does end up being something like that, that's something that adds to.
Always right. You can go to any show and you watch any show. Within the first 2 to 3 episodes, they always tell you, and in the opening credits, they always give it away. They give it away in those things. You're just not looking for it. Like that picture of the man in white. That's in the intro. They didn't get to that picture till this season. But they've had that picture since the intro. From the beginning, they've had that picture, right? But you're just seeing it now this season. So they always tell you what it is before it actually happens.
Yeah, I agree. They slip the truth in there in sneaky ways. And I mean, everyone has their own opinions. In my opinion, I think there were 2 things that they slipped in that can explain a lot. And one of them was Julie's shirt in episodes 1 and 2. She had a shirt that said illusions with this weird goat that has a third eye. And that kind of, that represents perception beyond ordinary sight, the third eye. And the illusions word, I mean, that really encapsulates all of the different kinds of bizarre visions that people have here, like everything Jade's seeing, what Tabitha's seeing. So I think that's a big clue. And I think Dale saying this is a pocket dimension is another one, because we're not supposed to take him seriously. He's like this weird side character that nobody takes seriously. And then we didn't even hear the whole conversation. We just heard part of it where he said, no, it's a pocket dimension. I think that would be a perfect way to kind of slip in part of the truth. So that's what I think they did. And that was early in season 1.
How many times have you heard people bring up nightmares and dreams? They bring it up too many times for it not to mean something. You can't. Everyone's all over the place. They keep saying it constantly over and over again. So it has to be. You can't just say it by everyone saying, then all of a sudden that has nothing to do with it.
Oh, absolutely. And I don't think it means that everyone is actually asleep and plugged into headsets and dreaming all of this. I think that it's a pocket dimension where there's some kind of entity that can cause dream states, visions, nightmares, premonitions. That's what I think all this dream stuff means. That's my opinion. Now, I mean, it could be some kind of shared dream state where they're plugged into headsets, but I don't think so. I take it a different way. And yeah, they throw it in your face. Every single trailer has music based on dreams. We've got constant references to dreams and nightmares. There's the biggest freaking dream catcher I've ever seen in my life in the Colony House kitchen. I mean, this couldn't be any more in your face. So it definitely means something, 100%.
Without a shadow of a doubt. All right.
Whenever you say illusions, I just think of this guy right here, Joe. They're not tricks, they're illusions.
Yes. I will let y'all know. So without a shadow of a doubt, I will be back Sunday with the pre-show. We'll have the pre-show every time before. We'll have a 2.5 hour pre-show that'll be starting. We're gonna start about 7 o'clock or so. Show airs at 9, so we'll start at 7, and then we'll have the pre-show, and then we'll have the after show right after the show ends. Right as soon as it's over, 10 minutes after it's over, we will be here. We'll be doing a simulcast from my channel and Phil's channel, so you can watch it from either channel that you want to watch it from. And we'll be having that every time, and that's where we'll have our live guests. I've already announced who will be there. On the second episode, we will have Elizabeth Moy on the second episode.
That's exciting. I can't wait to talk to her again.
Yes. And you'll see the picture of the person on the first episode when I put that thumbnail out there, so you can wait for that and everything else. But Elizabeth Moy will be joining us on episode 2. She'll be the one up in here rocking with us and everything else, and we'll see if something bad happens to her.
Is that her big episode?
We'll see what's going on.
My God.
We're gonna figure it out.
That's gonna be her funeral episode. Oh no!
And if it is a funeral episode or something like that, listen, we're gonna talk to her about it.
Appreciate her spending that time with us.
We're gonna talk to her right about it. You know what I mean? We'll have it right on there and everything else and all that good stuff. Yes, get some snacks for the pre-show and the after show. We will be here live. Make sure you tune into this channel right here, the Don Tony Teflon Fill the Issues Guide, the Escaping From podcast. And in the pre-show, I'm thinking about doing it like old times, Phil. Remember how I used to do it back in the day?
Oh, like with one guest, every half an hour.
So back in the day on Game of Thrones, I created a system that I did for the pre-show, and I would bring on one YouTuber every half an hour and swap them out until it's starting, so we have one person's half an hour, then swap that person out with another YouTuber half an hour, and we did that every pre-show, and we always had a rotating guest. We were basically recording, and we would do that and stuff. So maybe that was real good time. So we'll see if we can get that going again this year and bring that back, the rotating guest. So that way we always have somebody else up in there every week. And every week we'll have somebody up in there and have different opinions to go waiting for the pre-show while the pre-show is going on and stuff. So that's what we're going to do and everything else like that. You know what I mean? So that is what it is. All right. Julie B, Deep Dives, what's going on with your channel?
So I'm going to be putting out a few more theory videos over the next few days, and every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern, I do a live stream with my friend Sophie L. So I'm really ramping up. Like, I'm trying to do as much as I can, get as many theory videos out as I can, and and every week, Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern. We're live. Our first live, we went for 6 hours, which is really insane. We had so much to say, and we were so excited that it got out of hand. And everybody was, having a good time. So,
that's awesome.
So we just stayed on there for 6 hours, like maniacs.
I told Real when Real first started live streaming and stuff. And one thing he asked me, I told him, I said, understand this when you start doing this thing. He's like, what's that? I said, it's addicting. It's really addicting. It's addicting. I said, I'm telling you, it's addicting. You'll be thinking about live streaming all day. You can't wait to get to the new one. I said, it's an addicting situation. So know that that's going on.
Yes. Oh my God. After I put out my first theory video, I swear, like as soon as I woke up the next day, my eyes opened. I was like, I got to get to work on the next one.
Mm-hmm.
That's addictive too. Just making theory videos and live streaming is addictive. So I'm telling you, I feel it. Believe me, it's lit a fire under me. And I was really insecure and nervous because I don't know all these fancy tricks yet for editing videos and putting in clips and stuff. But people were just so kind and so supportive that I feel so much more confident now to keep going. So I just really appreciate everybody's support.
It's just all a process. It's a process. All you gotta do is just keep putting a video out, and every video do the next one will always be better. That's the way I've always done it. If you look at my videos from the beginning to what they are now, it's not even close to what it was. I mean, my first videos with me just sitting on the couch with an iPhone leaned up on a pot and just talking into it, and that was it, So It just keep going. You get in my then I didn't have no microphone, and my microphone stuck. And I remember it was a subscriber who sent me a microphone. So here's a better microphone for you. And that's how I got my microphone better for the first time. And it all just keeps going. It's just one step at a time. And I tell you, if you keep making videos, the next one will always be a little better. It's the way it is.
Thank you so much for the encouragement. I'm working on learning, as I go. I'm learning as I go. I'm gonna, make the videos look better and better. But for now, I just wanted to get my ideas out. I didn't want to wait any longer. And I really appreciate your support, Tony. Thank you so much.
No problem.
It means a lot. You were the first person I ever watched, the first from live streamer I ever watched. I never dreamed I'd actually be starting my own channel, and you'd be so supportive. Like, the very first day that the season 3 trailer came out, I called you, and you were so kind and just made me feel comfortable speaking publicly. Like, I never did that. I never called into a live before. Now I'm doing my own live. So, thank you so much.
No problem. I'm glad to be here. Liza, if you're talking about Mogini Linguini, if you're talking about him, I've talked to Mogini a little bit ago. He is doing good. He is married now with a kid and stuff. If you're talking about James Johnson and the Small Council, if you're talking about him, James is married now and he's just chilling. But if you're talking Mogini Linguini, I tried to get him on to come on and do some stuff like that. But he's married now and they got a kid and everything else. And that is what it is and everything else. All right, Phil, what's going on with your channel, bro?
Lots of love to Mo. I will be doing some From stuff throughout the season and some other stuff mixed in. Sopranos, Only Murders in the Building I want to come up and talk about. But this Friday, I will be with a future real video released pretty soon, but a lyric video for my band's latest single that will be dropping on Friday on Spotify and all the places, called St. Louis. The band's called Two Piece Trip. But I'll be posting just a simple lyric video on my channel on Friday for the release, and but you can find it on all the streaming sites that will be showing up on Friday. So if you're into new music, check it out. The song's called St. Louis on Two Piece Trip on Friday the 20th. But I will be posting a video on my channel.
Right, that's what's up. Let's see if I can end the stream because it wouldn't let me start it, so I'm gonna try to end it and see if it actually ends. If it doesn't, I'm going to say the ending really fast, or if it's going to be a problem here. Well, yeah, it will not let me end it. It won't let me.
You're going to be streaming all night.
Can I end it? I don't know. Okay.
It won't let me end the stream. I keep pushing the thing, and it won't
if you just keep tapping it, maybe you'll eventually get it in.
You get it one time. Pause.
I was going no pause on that one, but
and this damn stream. It will not allow me to end the stream. It doesn't want us to get off.
Looks like it's an all-nighter.
Yeah, as Carla says, it's 24-hour stream. We go.
Hell yeah.
We go live till from premieres.
Let's go.
All right. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop these cameras and everything. I'm gonna go on my other computer, end it on my other computer, and then I'll be able to end it here.
Yeah. What would happen if we all left the studio? Would it just?
No, it wouldn't. It would just show a blank. It would just show the from thing. So we'll all do that, and then we'll show the from thing, and then I'll just end it from there, from the main page. I think I have to end it from the actual StreamYard page. Like I could end it from there, maybe. I'll try to do that. Yeah, this is ridiculous. StreamYard's got to get their shit together.
Oh God, what's gonna happen to me? I'm new to StreamYard now. It's gonna be screwing with me.
I think it's something with the They must have updated it something because it's happening to me and Phil. So something is going on. Let me see if I can end it from here. It says live right on it. All right, I'll take care of this thing on my other computer. All right, people, peace out and stay sexy, everybody. We gotta get out of here. All right.
Later, everybody.
Peace out.
Good night, guys.